Okay, so we've got it, you know, a lot closer to that line. Right now we're just taking like a blade width off, and like I said, I'm bending the blade substantially to get a middle cut out of it so it doesn't flap around. But I do think I'm going to finish off with the sander again now. It doesn't take off as much, and it leaves me with a bigger safe area to play with. Okay, so we've kind of got it a little bit better, and we're just doing little bits at a time. We give her a test fit, and that's looking a lot better. You know what? I think I need a little bit more just from here back, and I think I'm there. Just to, because that's not quite touching it, right? So, I've got to go till it. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna take a little bit out at this side, but this side is actually fitting pretty good. I think I'm going to deepen the middle concave that I got going, so which means that on the other side I'm just going back and forth, and then I'll kind of feather it out so it, you know, makes a little bit of a bowl. But other than that, I might even be able to see if the guy puts it on an angle. I might be able to see where. Oh yeah, and I think actually it's just this is a little bit too high, keeping this one up. Actually, that works pretty good when you just kind of lay your eye across it a little bit, and it tells you whether it's flat or not. And that did work out pretty good. Let's try that. You know, we're just getting a pretty good guess at this point. No, I think a little bit more can come out of there. I've also marked a center line in pencil across my hood. I totally forgot to tell you guys that, sorry. And that's what I'm matching up, is just this middle line that I made there and the bottom line. But you know what? I think I gotta take a little bit more out of this side again. Flip again, match it up. I think it still go down some. I think actually the fangs are a little bit high. We're there. Our next step is going to be with a Dremel. Now we're going to use a bit like this. I'd say it's a little, the actual bit width is, length of the actual teeth is a little bit over 1/4 inch. 3/8, something like that. So we're going to use the depth of this as to how far down we go into the foam. And what I mean is that we have to trace out on the outside of the black line, we have to trace out the skull. And we're going to do the cowl part first, and then we'll worry about this later. So I'm not going to actually get into the teeth or the actual top part of the skull. I'm going to concentrate on just around here more than anything. So like I said, I'm just testing tools, so I don't know what works well and what doesn't. Well, that goes through pretty good. So with this, we can actually just kind of move along, kind of get your hand at a level, get it into it, and just kind of slowly push it along. Actually, it works better if you hold it straight up and down. And just take your time. That works pretty good. There we go. I'm going to redo this side. I was holding it on an angle there, so... Okay, so now that I've got that kind of traced out, you know, yeah, it's down about a little bit less than a quarter of an inch. I think I'd actually like to take another pass or two, just to, on the outside of this line. I know that this cowl is going to come down more than this, but I'd like I just really want a nice big wide buffer zone that I'm not gonna put a blade or some other tool into the skull part and chip something out or whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And like I said, I'm just gonna follow the outside and take out, you know, just that far down. Just have a good look-see of how far you're going down. You don't want to go down too much. Like I said, this is about 3/8 of an inch. This way, and I'm going down to about there. Well, you can kind of see the line. So that's how far down I'm going, maximum. But I think, yeah, I'll do this outside edge. Now what I'm going to do is I want this edge on an angle, so I'm going to mark my high point of where I want that angle to come. So I'm going to go to my reference point of the lines. Now there's a chip out of here, so I'm still going to go to the outside. And where do I want that? Now remember, I'm going to the line, not to what I cut. So what am I here? 1 inch. So if I come out to there, I think if I go 1.5, gonna make a dot, go to the other side, 1.5, make a dot. Okay. So now I went 1.5 there. If I go 1 here, give me a little bit of an offset. Alright. So let's put this line in. I'll do it from this side so you guys can see. So once again, just connect the dots. Same thing on the other side. Try to keep my hands out of the way here for you guys. Okay, so that's our where everything is going to start curving down. Now we're just going to go to the peak of our lines for the next one. Don't even really have to mark anything. And then same with this side. Once again, these are reference points. So it's just so we don't want to go past these, because if you go past them, you want to make sure that this is a straight line. So like when we actually make this final line, it's going to be like barely sanded in one direction. It's so we need to keep that straight line. But for right now, we can take out all of this down to the bottom. So that's what we're going to do. And I think we're going to use that. Oh, let's use the Sawzall again. That seems to go through pretty good.